Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good morning. Okay, so I had received a few of draft from some groups since last week actually until today. So this morning, I would like you to send me your draft assignment. And for those who are asking the deadline for the group assignment and presentation, please do check again in our group WhatsApp. I already updates when is the date for our submission. If I'm not mistaken, week 13. Okay. But please check back, okay, because to make sure that you are still in the right track. And from starting this week, I keep on checking on your draft, okay, so to make sure that you can start your e-magazine as soon as possible. And at the same time, I will keep on posting those the notes, lecture notes, to make sure that we are still aligned with the syllabus. Huh? Alright, so again, I'm greeting Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning. Alright, so without further ado, the last class, if you still remember that I'm stuck in here in foreign direct investment under strategic alliances. Okay, we have before this we learned about the key projects, management contract, contract manufacturing. This is under specialized entry mode, and then we learn about licensing, franchising. So I will be like continue about the foreign direct investment. All right. So without further ado, this is actually has been touched in the topic one. If you still remember, um, I do detect how to say that. I do mention to you all that foreign direct investment. Okay, under international investment, we do have two mode of entry, which is foreign direct investment (FDI) and then foreign portfolio investment (FPI). Okay, so under foreign direct investment, they have three FDI methods. Okay, which is foreign direct investment. As you know, the investment in the purposely to control. Okay, other tangible asset, for example, like land. Okay, buildings. Okay. In other host country, meaning to say it's purposely to control. That is the keywords for the foreign direct investment. All right, for the three FDI methods, we have the greenfield strategy, we have acquisitions, and also joint venture. All right, let's take a look for each of the advantage and disadvantage. Okay, for foreign direct investment, we do have the advantage and disadvantage. Okay, for the advantage, the strength of the FDI. Why do the company choose to have the FDI? Number one, because high profit potential. Because in term when you try to expand your market to the another foreign countries, actually indirectly you have gained a lot of the profit potential from the host country. Okay, why? The reason because in other way around, the company start to control. To control meaning you invest in order indirectly you are belong to the certain assets of the another, okay, especially tangible assets to the another country. So that's why profit potential will be quite high. And the second more point is maintain control over the operation because once you decide to go for the foreign direct investment, okay, indirectly it's control 100% control. As I mentioned, okay, because the keyword is to control, right? It's different from foreign portfolio investment. Okay, foreign portfolio investment is just totally in order to invest and not to control, but more on to have more additional on investment on intangible asset. For example, like financial asset, like stock, bond, shares, deposit, paper deposits, okay, and so forth. So the third one, acquire knowledge of the local market. Once you expand your market, penetrate the market to the another foreign country, indirectly you acquire the certain knowledge for the local market because you know where the country that you want to go and where the country have the potential. And of course before you go there, because you penetrate that market, you will do some market analysis, right, that we have discussed in the earlier part on this topic 5. And the last one, we do have avoid tariff and NTBs because mostly when you do decide on the foreign direct investment, the country will be welcoming you to the country, the host country especially, because host home country will be decide to go to host country. And I believe in terms of avoid tariff and NTBs is we with due to that process because it's totally you invested, okay, because that's why the word foreign direct investment for the host country. When the another country like home country is welcome, I mean like coming to their country, okay, of course they will feel like, okay, this country would like to invest to our country, right? So it's another part of the portion that there will be yeah, profit oriented in there. They have win-win situation. You come to here to invest and we get the profit, because inside that relationship there will be like cash flow and inside the country itself, you know. That is in topic 4 that I teach you before, if you still remember, the cash flow within the country itself. Okay. And disadvantage, a high financial and managerial investment. Yeah, because once you decide to control to the whose country, okay, actually in part of the managerial structure or organizational structure itself will be impact indirectly. So what to do is you have to invest more, because you, if you just relying on the home country, mean the headquarters personnel, is not enough, it will be insufficient. So that's why you have to invest more, because you want to actually sending your expatriate to the another countries, and then the second one, higher exposure to the political risk. Of course this is cannot be avoided, because we do have to face, okay, those the risk, okay, the risk and exposure from the particular country, especially the home country. Let's say, okay, the US exporters, sorry, US international business, they want to go and expand their market to China, okay. In China, there is lots of I can say bureaucratic law in there, because in terms of they protecting the Chinese, because they are more encouraging on ethnocentrism. They are only protective their own local products. So when you are the one who are the foreign product, most basically what happened, they will try to isolate your product. Okay, I give a very simple example. Let's see. This is not let's say, this is the real in the example. When KFC start to have expand and penetrate the market in China, this is I already told you in the topic two, if you still remember. I do see one YouTube commercial. They will started that there will be like mom and pop stores for the local fried chicken China stores, sorry, Chinese stores, and then the next one is KFC. And mostly the customer from China is going to the mom and pop stores from mom and dad stores from China country itself, compared to go to the KFC, because the reason they want to boycotting the foreign products. So that's why in terms of the political risk is quite huge in there. So in order to survive, that's why how you do it, you have to do some market survey and analysis by maybe do some food culture analysis. For example, what did Chinese eat for breakfast? So that's why in KFC in China, what they did was in morning, in like in Malaysia, what we have in morning maybe like nasi lemak. Okay, I do not know whether KFC also have nasi lemak, but in McDonald's we have nasi lemak for breakfast, right? So in China, the morning breakfast for the Chinese is like noodle soup. Okay, so they provide noodle soup, and they don't have like black coffee for like Americano for the breakfast, but they more have like Chinese tea. So this is how they want to actually endeavor, okay, in terms of how to penetrate the market in other countries, in terms of the whether the preferences by the local market. Okay, so that is number two in terms of political risk. So how you want to tackle the market, whether you can survive and remain at their market, this is how you can do it. Of course, 1 year is not enough. It has to be multiple years in order to make sure that you survive in that country. And then the third one, vulnerability to the restriction on the foreign investment. Okay, of course, when we're talking about vulnerability, this is something like exposure. Okay, in terms of the foreign direct investment, you have to bear with the certain consequences that the country, particular country, especially the host country, they will put some the rules and barriers. If you still remember that we learned in topic two, we do have some sanctions. We do like what we call embargo, and the worst is like extraterritoriality. Okay, so this is all those kinds of the strategy in order to they welcome you to their country, but in at the same time they do put some rules and regulation. Okay, and other maybe in other parts also what they did was maybe like they whether the country has some like nationalization, okay, and then privatization, and then they do have like if you still remember costification, okay, costification and also appropriation. This is sorry, this is not, yeah, confiscation and also uh and the another one, yeah, expropriation, right? Expropriation. So this is the thing that they will coming across into their mind in order to make sure that there will be, even you come to our country, okay, like they welcome you, okay, welcome to my country, but in other way around, there will be like have some restriction on that. Of course they will not be 100% like warm welcome to the another country. There must be have the challenges and competitors around the local, all right. And then the next one, we do have the greater managerial complexity, because we do have to hiring those the expatriate, okay, and then at the same time we have to, in order to have some the cost efficiency, we have to reduce also the cost in hiring by hiring the local people, local staff, local employees. So indirectly, when we have the multiple of diversity workforce, there will be also managerial complexity on that. Okay, so this is the pro and cons under the foreign direct investment. And then we moving to the greenfield strategy. Okay, so what is greenfield strategy? Okay, basically when we're talking about greenfield strategy, you just remember that it's like green grass. Okay, green grass, and you start over to have like the new place in order to open up, to develop, to what, yeah, everything like you want to launching the new place, right? So number one, when we're talking about the strategy advantage, okay, greenfield strategy, this is their um pros and the strength and the advantage. Okay, number one, we select the most useful site, so meaning to say the strategic place, and also the most strategic location with a reasonable cost, or maybe the most strategic cost with expensive cost. Hook by crook, okay, mostly those the international business, what they did was, in order to expand and penetrate their market to the another country, especially host country, there will be like say that location is the most factor that influence their business. So even though how much the price I want that place, so they don't bother about how much they have to incur the certain cost in order to find the good place, strategic location, but as long that that is the most useful site. Okay, that was number one. And then the second one, we're talking about the construct modern facilities. Okay, of course when we develop the certain new area, okay, mostly we have to come up with the modern facilities too, okay, so in order to have a line and the process of the development is well and go smoother, and the third one, we have reap economic development incentive. Indirectly, we follow what the best economic development incentive that been provided by the government, especially the home country government grant, for example, that facilities and also anything, okay, to make sure that incentive being taken well and being expand well, okay. So that's why I believe that if let's say I like to touch in like greenfield strategy, let's say I like to take that this is actually like obsolete example, but Legoland in Iskandaria region in Johor, Johor Darul Takzim. Negara Johor. Yeah, okay. Johor. Okay. So if you realize, yeah, this is how they do. Okay. Actually, Iskandaria region is was before this previously. If I'm not mistaken, please correct me if I'm wrong. There was like totally palm oil estate. Okay, so meaning to say, um, there is the rural area and no one is has seen this one as the most potential location. After they find out this location, okay, what they did was they come up with the idea, because there is a lot of potential investors coming there, like Taiwanese and Hong Kong, and then also Japanese, okay, would like to invest on this project. Okay, so that's why how the Legoland is suddenly rebuilt during that time. And then they start with the clean slate. Okay, clean slate in here means say you are start from scratch. Meaning to say there is a pool of location, as I mentioned just now. It's just a palm oil estate. Okay, ladang kelapa sawit. there is no people in there. Okay, meaning to say it's totally rural area and get acclimated to the new business culture. So automatically, once there will be the modern facilities, and then also there will be like what we call national theme park in there, right? It's something like to be proud. Okay, that the new business culture will be together blending in there, right? And if you realize like Singapore, they do have like Universal Studio or something like that, their theme park, right? So in Malaysia, we do have like this Legoland. Okay. So can you imagine one bottles of mineral water is cost like 10 ringgit Malaysia, whereby like this, right? We buy mineral water is just 1 ringgit, but in Legoland it's costly like 10 ringgit for per bottle. Yeah. So this is how they do, right? Okay, in the theme park and so forth. Okay, so recreational park. Okay, so we do like the next one. Okay, for the acquisition strategy. Okay, acquisition, if you still remember, you learn in ITB class, Introduction to Business class, is about mergers and acquisition. Is about whether the company is joining each other and buying and selling is occurred in the transaction of the business there. Okay, so uh, another strategy advantage under acquisition strategy is control over the firm resources, meaning to say, let's say company A is buying company B. So company A is control over the firm resources from the human capital, the workers itself, from the assets, from the building, from the land, everything from head to toe. Because it's talking about controlling. Okay, it's so do like what we did and discussed in the foreign direct investment. And the second one we do have generates immediate revenues because once you buy, okay, the another company, let's say joining or maybe buying. I may say the another company is buying, okay, they totally get immediate revenues on that. Okay, why? Because in terms of let's say the companies might be quite strong brand name, right? So indirectly, it's able to have some generate revenues on that. How to say in the simple words to means that like you investing to the new properties. So when the new properties that you investing, when someone is buying your property, so that's why this is how their revenue will generate. Okay, and then the third one adds no new capacity to the industry because you buying everything from the company B just now. It's already have in the right state. Let's see. I give example what happened to in Malaysia. We do have retailers before. It's known as Carrefour. I do not know whether Indonesian students know about this Carrefour or they known as Carrefour. Something like that. Carrefour. Okay, Carrefour is one of the retailers. UK retailers actually is quite a big prominent name, big and prominent name. But however, it's not been survived well in Malaysia. So what happened? Aeon Big, okay, the orange color right now, the retailer is buying this Carrefour. Okay, they do some acquisition and bear in mind all the especially the employees, okay, they just rebranding, from this Carrefour into Aeon Big. So all those the products is before this they have Carrefour brand name, they will change to Aeon Big, and then the plastic bags of course, and then totally okay how the layout before this Carrefour look very glumpy, it's like slum, it's like very how to say that it's not seen like there is no improvement. It's still like so outdated and obsolete layout, I do not know why I said so, but it's like so gloomy, something like it's not so like what you see in Aeon Big right now. Right now, they have a lots of stock, and every time during the K4, I didn't remember that the products in the stock, especially in the shelf, right, it's totally like uh always out of stock. So they're not renewing the stock. Okay, they don't added the new stock on that because yeah, the company is almost go to like not in a good well state, right? So what they did, they replaced with the new company on big. Okay, so the employees is still there, all the chefs still there, but they only just rebranding it. The counter chef, the counter cashier, everything is there. It's already be there. Okay, so that's it. Adds no new capacity to the industry. You just ready to use. Okay. All right. And then we're moving to the strategic disadvantage. I wonder why do the oh okay. All right, the greenfield strategy also has the disadvantage actually. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Okay. So I just you turn back. Okay, you turn back. Okay. Okay. So for the greenfield strategy, okay, the disadvantage, the implementation takes time and patience. Yes, I agree on that w- because you start from scratch. Okay, you start from totally from zero to hero. That is the best word, right? So you start with the green grass. You find out the best and strategic location. There is nothing, only goes there. Okay, and of course the implementation takes time and patience. Patient in here mean not you as the sick person, but it needs as-sabaru minal iman. Dia memerlukan kesabaran. Sabar tu separuh daripada iman. Jadi in order to implement it, it takes time and patience. Okay, and then the second one, location may be costly or unavailable. Is do have that, but maybe it's been booked by someone, or maybe it's not available for temporary, or maybe it's too costly. So this is the thing that the businessmen, especially international businessmen, have to bear. If you want that location, you have to wait. If you want to invest to that location, you have to be patient. Okay, and then the third one must deal with the government regulation. This is cannot be run away. Okay, you cannot deny on this because once you want to enter the other people homes, right? So people will put some a lots of regulation on you. So that's why in terms of dealing with the government regulation, you have to bear with it. And then the fourth one must recruit and train the local workforce. I told you in the first, if you still remember, in the part of the advantage, we do have a pool of diversity workforce. Kita ada kepelbagaian orang yang bekerja bawah kita. Maybe you maybe open up, penetrate the market under China market. So you do have the Chinese people will work with you. You go to Thailand, there will be Thailand, yeah, people will be work for you. And then you go to maybe Saudi Arabia, there will be Saudi Arabian people with you. So in term to recruit and train them, it's not easy because we have to have more knowledge on local people. If you go to Japan, of course, they are very particular about the time management. So of course, if you just going with there with the Malaysian time, like I am on the way, I think that you cannot survive in there, right? But if you want like maybe that Saudi like they are quite I'm so sorry, maybe this is quite sensitive, but the culture is particularly what something like a rush. Okay, they are more rush, however impatient, and then they are not punctual. So that is them. So in terms of the recruit and train the local workforce, it takes many times on that. Okay, and then but we have to bear with it, right? And then maybe stigmatized as the foreign firm. So I told you in the case like I give like KFC just now, right? So people will be compared. This is local firm, this is a foreign firm. So people will not go for the foreign firm. They will say buy the local first. So this is what the stigmatic. So like Malaysia, Indonesia, I think the same also like us. So we mostly we welcome like more like another country to come to our country. But in terms to have like stigma, we welcome. I mean like we do keep like accepting other people country brand name, and we try to we are the one who want to try everything. Like Malaysian people, Indonesian people, we are like that. We want to try the new one. Okay, so yeah, that's why if you realize many franchising business, licensing business, okay, especially you come from the other country, right? They do accept it, and they feel like when they penetrate the market in ASEAN market, especially Asia, right? Asia market. So they feel like yeah, this is something like a good news for them because the people itself is welcoming is with warm and gently. Okay, all right. So we move to the next one, which is for the acquisition disadvantage. Okay, so for the acquisition strategy advantage, my tongue twister is start to coming. Okay, and then the strategic disadvantage for acquisition strategy. Okay, number one, we assume the firm's liabilities. Okay, this is have to put into mind. Okay, when once you want to buy to the another country, I mean like not country to buy another companies. Let's say in the case of acquisition, right? Company is buying company B. So company B is mostly like in a problematic. So what basically been done is company B will have to bear the another company is buying us, right? And mostly company B will have some problem, for example, financial constraint again. And I remember in the year 2011, before we do have like Sony and Ericsson. So Sony is buying Ericsson, not buying, actually they are doing some like acquisition joint venture. And then during that time, Sony and Ericsson have to be together. Okay, and Sony is have some prominent name in here, and Ericsson is having the difficulties because due to the financial constraint and financial crisis is of in their company. So in terms of that, indirectly Sony is actually have the Ericsson firm's liabilities. Okay, we're talking about financial crisis right now, right? Okay, and then the second one inherits the unresolved problems. Okay, for example, this has happened to Malaysia Airlines system. I do remember. Okay, what is the unresolved problems in MAS? Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, we can do this discussion in our group WhatsApp and also um in YouTube. But mostly what in YouTube I will be disable the comments because sometimes I'm got some not appropriate comments there. Uh, appropriate meaning is not related to our subject matter. So yeah, I think that I have to bear with that security. And then okay, inherits meaning to say you will be bare with all the unresolved problems. Okay, let's say what happened in MAS is like during the financial crisis that occurred to that company, right? I believe that organization crisis. Okay, so they have to lay off their employees, and then the two aircraft MH370, MH17 have to be yeah it's missing in action, and somehow there been a crash. Okay, so this is something like give a big impact to Malaysia because this is our national alliance, okay, company. So what have been happen, okay, what did happen during that time is unresolved problems of how we want to do some resolution, so sorry, solving the problem on the company crisis. So what did I do remember during that time, CEO for the MAS is Mueller. Okay, he is actually one of CEOs that been import from UK Airlines. Okay, so this guy, what he did was he is appointed as a CEO for MAS, and he do the first what we call I can say shock action is by lay off the employees. It's around 2,500 employees. Okay, can you imagine that? And then what happened? Of course, for those who are already long time ago working with MAS, they have to bear that they have to be go. They have to let go this company because the company is having a really disaster crisis, right? So in order to come out with this thing, One World, okay, One World is another airline company from UK, do some acquisition, and then One World is also buying some stock and share from Malaysia Airline System, so they combine together. Okay, so when they go together, of course, they also have to bear with the unresolved problem, like what happened to the layoff and then the debt, okay, and so forth, because this is not a small problem when we're talking about the two aircraft being crashed, right? And one is nowhere, missing in action, and now and the second one in was with is it been shoot by the Ukraine, if you still remember during that time, right? So this is was like a goosebump, not a goosebump, it's a shock news by all the nation during that time. So yeah, of course they want to also do some compensation to the family that been affected by this tragedy, so that's a lot of things to solve. And then the third one requires substantial upfront spending, so sometimes and not sometimes, it's always the company who buy the another company who problematic company, they have to start over, not start over, they have to spending more in advance because they want to invest, right? They want to buy the another company, so they have to invest in advance in order to protect and save the another company. So uh, in simple word, acquisition is a good uh, strategy. Okay. However, at the same time, if you are a giant and a big enough company and stable company, you able to survive on that, okay, acquisition strategy. But if you just like moderately sized and small size company, it's been not recommended for this strategy, because this acquisition strategy have a lot of investment to be made, okay, in advance, okay, in order to get in return of your investment. All right. Okay, so we're moving to the third one, which is a joint venture 5.3. So joint venture, we do have like joint ownership and also mutual interest. So when we're talking about joint venture, there will be win-win situation. I help you, you help me, something like that. And of course, we're talking about joint ownership. Both party will gain the ownership, all right? And then the scope of the strategy analysis and its implementation. Under the scope of the strategy analysis, we have do pula, two, okay? We have significant variation, which is comprehensive alliances and also narrowly defined alliances, which is we call as um, functional alliances, okay? So it been stated here in the text, degree of the collaboration depends upon the basic goals of the each partner. So each partner know better why the reason they want to do the strategic alliances. Okay, they know why I should do this joint venture. I know well. Okay, all right, and then the strategic alliances, of course, they do have the cooperation. I help you, you help me. Of course, we are corporate, right? And then we do have the mutual benefits. Because if only one party, okay, have that benefit, I believe that the another party will not totally agree to have uh some consensus, okay, some consensus and also cooperation with you, to do the strategy alliances. Okay, bear in mind, student, I don't want you to be misunderstanding. Okay, strategy alliances is the whole strategy, is the main strategy, whereby joint venture is a subset of the strategic alliances. Subset meaning to say, in the strategic alliances, we do have the joint venture. Okay. And then for what is the joint venture is being stated here is corporate form and is a part of the joint ownership. Company A and company B. Sony and Ericsson do joint venture. I told you previously, right? Okay. So managing a joint venture, mostly the firms share the management. Share the management meaning to say, like Sony, they share with the management with Ericsson. This is the case happened between range year 2011. No more right now because right now Sony is already independently with their own company and Ericsson is already independently with their own. So this is I'm talking about previously. Okay, what they did. Okay, maybe I can take like another example. Company girly company, Chinese company automobile doing joint venture with Proton right now. This is the current example, latest example. Okay, so in here, Girly also do a part of shared management with Proton. Okay, as maybe you have read some newspaper, online newspaper, right? So 65% actually been owned by the Chinese investor from a Girly company, and 35% is from Proton company. Okay. Now Proton with Chinese company. And then one firm will take the responsibility. So in right, when I see what is the current right now, Gili company, Gili or Gili, Gili company is indirectly take the responsibility in terms, if you can see right now, Proton have a very slightly good in terms of variations of design of their new car. I can say compact car or MPV car. This is the latest news. And independent managers are hired. I believe that Proton will be hiring managers from China, okay, in order to make sure that they do have managing the joint venture on this, okay. And the joint venture traits, we have joint venture versus non-joint venture. So in terms of the purpose, scope, and duration, there will be broader, and longer. And for the non-joint venture, there will be narrower, and shorter. Narrow means more on specific and more narrow down. Okay. After this, I will go on what is a non-joint venture or we call as a functional alliances. Okay. All right. So what is benefits? Every single of the mode of entry that we learn, okay, from the previous class and also today class, there will be have pro and cons. Okay, I want you to remember on that. So in number one, in terms of the benefits, it is for the market entry. Okay, when we so do call as a strategy alliances, every single country, international wide and foreign country will be welcoming. Okay, because they see that the potential of investment in there. And number two is overcome entrenched competition. Okay, because they know this is both party mutual benefits and also have some consensus mutual cooperation. And then the second one, deal with the government regulation. Of course, you do have some like restrictions on, let's say we're talking about imported product, right? You have maybe imposing tax, higher tax on your product. Maybe they give some, like Malaysia, let's say we are only recognized on Bumi Putras first, parity first to Bumi Putras only, or maybe what we call some of the regulation maybe buy the local product first. So this is the things that the government regulation will impose towards these strategic alliances. Okay, and then gets the economies of scale and scope. You can maximize your profit at the same time you can minimize the cost. Okay, why? Because the reason, because you are expanding your market to the international market. At the same time, you know the potential location that will be low cost in terms of the resources, low cost for the labor cost. So that is, you can generate your economies of scale, scale plus scale, scale in a very nationwide. And then manage cost of doing business. Of course, when we're talking about managing cost of doing business, every single of the strategic alliances or even licensing, franchising, or exporting, this is the thing that involving the cost. Uh, I don't think that we never had the cost when we are doing the business, right? So bear in mind, basically this is the thing that we have to bear with it. We have to manage the cost. Okay, so we're moving to the next one. The shared risk. The shared risk, right? Okay, of course, in term of the sharing risk, okay, between like Proton and also Gilly just now, they have new products. If you maybe for the guys, maybe your updates, maybe the girls also updates on the car. X50 is on the way right now, right? Before this, we have X70, X50. So this is the new products. And when you're talking about new market, it's actually derived from the Core. Core is one of the design from the Girly company, from the Chinese company, design, and it's been derived and implemented to our Proton car. So can you imagine? This is how well we can see that the good things, okay, when you share risk and at the same time you have the new product and also the new market. So yeah, it's a good when you combination of the two company with the variation background on there. Okay, and then share knowledge and expertise, of course, in term of the product and services, the resources, okay, the government regulations, and also different environment. We do share the knowledge and expertise, of course, and at the same time, we will have to make sure that some knowledge that we gain from the Gilly company, from the Proton, and Proton also will learn from the Gilly. Gilly also will learn from Proton. So this is how the knowledge and also the expertise from come from the different two countries that will be combined together and we learn each other. And in terms of the resources, of course, you know where is the spare part, the suppliers you can get from maybe like the most reasonable price. Okay, and for the government regulation, for example, the Chinese company like Geely company, they will gain the benefit too because the government regulation is buying the local car, support the local car. So when you do this combination, Proton is being noted as national car. So the government regulation actually encouraging them in order to have more to buy the support the local car. Okay, and different environment, of course, totally China country and also Malaysia will totally have a different in terms of the environment, but at the same time they will be learn slowly on that. All right. In terms of the synergy and competitive advantage, they do have the market entry. Okay, I believe that in terms of the market entry, it's very very easy for the Chinese companies because they do have some do the strategic joint venture with company Proton, and we also they have discussed just now is about risk sharing, profit and loss together. That's why the reason company Gili is buying our share 65% because due to Proton is having actually somehow it's like Malaysia Airlines system is like having financial crisis, okay, in terms of their their internal, yeah, slowly I can see like correct me if I'm wrong. And then also the learning potential, learning each other. Geli company is learning from proton is learning from Geli. Okay, and then this is the scope of the strategy alliances, comprehensive alliances. We have matched the firm relative strengths. Okay, and then they maximize the operating procedure in terms of the assembly line. Maybe they have more of technology from China being derived and bring here, and then they achieve the greatest synergy. Synergy meaning to say they have something like wow factor. Okay, maybe the productivity or production time or production cost will be it can be greater, and at the same time it can be give some double impact or maybe triple impact to before this. So I believe it's quite like a good news, okay, to Proton itself when they do some this joint venture with a Chinese company. Okay, and then all right, so this is the second one that we will discuss on the functional alliances. Okay, functional alliances you focus on specifically on what is the function. Okay, they do the alliances, they do combination joint venture in totally to have production joint venture, marketing joint venture, financial joint venture, research and development joint venture. Okay, all right, I do give some production licenses. Okay, what do they do in terms of the joint venture? They do production, and they manufacture the products and provide the services. This is what I give example just now, like Proton. Okay, before this we have Proton. If I'm not mistaken, Proton Suprema S. Suprema S also. They do some like combination between Proton and Lotus. Okay, and it takes around, if I'm not mistaken, every single model of Proton is take around 2 years before this. That been stated by the previous CEO. I don't remember that. The local guy name. Okay, 2 years. Okay, every single 2 years. Alright, they take for to come up with a new model. And right now, no, and right now I think like more speed up, less than 1 year. Okay, after that, Chinese company already do some more on we call what innovation on this company, right? Okay, so we manufacture the products, okay, and of course the new product we can see the new innovation, fresh idea and R&D being taken there. Okay, so this is like give example like Gili company and Proton. Okay, and for the marketing alliances, we do have the functional alliances, the market services and also market expertise. Okay, so they do joint venture for the purpose only for the marketing. So basically like this. I like to give example like during World FIFA Cup, right? You remember like McDonald mostly they come up with like glass, okay, glass from the design is like the World Cup trophy, okay, and then they will be combined with McDonald and mostly synonym with Coke, right? So McDonald we do a part of the marketing part, okay. At the same time, um, McDonald and Coke is together. As you know, right? Like KFC, they will Pepsi. Okay, so at the same time, by using that cup, okay, I imagine like this is a cup. It's a cup, and then they will use for the marketing purpose. Okay, maybe go to McD now to get this cup, World FIFA Cup for when you buy like Big Mac for this blah 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 something like that. So this is for marketing alliances and it's just for temporary because it only takes that time only. Okay, that time meaning to say during the World FIFA Cup event only. After that done. And you realize also McDonald also do some combination with Pixar and also Disney. Okay, every time they're launching certain film and maybe for example like animation film, what they did they will do like if you realize for the meal, kids meal, right? Okay, there will be like a free gift, okay, like toys. Okay, for example, let's say the toys is represent from Pixar studio like Shrek example, right? So there will be cartoon Shrek for that. Yeah, this is for the marketing purpose only for that temporary time only. Okay, and then we have financial lenses. I like to give example like Karzana Holding is inject some shares and buying shares from Malaysia Airlines System. Okay, and then One World also buying some of shares from Malaysia Airlines System. Number one, because to reduce the financial risk. So that's why they do strategic alliances, joint venture on that, because for the purpose to help to revamp the problem. And then the second one, contribute the resources. Of course, like One World, they're also helping Malaysia Airlines system in order to contribute the resources on how they do the airlines and so forth. Okay, and then the third one is provide expertise. Okay, so when we provide some expertise to them, okay, indirectly they can help to have some win-win situation. One World and Malaysia Airline System, because both are airline system, airline nature. I mean like airline system industry. Okay, so that's why they do have this provide expertise. Okay, for both. Malaysia Airline System will helping One World also helping Malaysia Airline System. And then we do have also R&D collaboration. For those who don't know what's been R&D, R&D is referring to research and development collaborations. So we do have alliances and also we have consortium. Okay, alliances and consortium meaning we have some collaboration. Okay, so I do like to take some example, okay, R&D. Um yeah, for mostly like in a pharmaceutical, right? Pharmaceutical products. They do like research and development in drugs, certain medication to make sure. So they do some collaboration with the another party. For example, company that I want to give you some unique example actually. Okay, nowadays, okay, they can use certain of the technology in the medication, right? Okay, I give very simple. In order to overcome, can I say overcome, not reduce, okay, maybe the word is the reduce, problematic on diabetes, right? Okay, they come out, if you still know some brand they known as stevia. Okay, stevia is actually like alternative. Okay, can I say supplement, not supplement? In order to for those who want to have some feel like taste sweet, okay, in their drinks or maybe their foods, they just pinch a little bit, 1 to 2 drops, to make sure that the food can be have taste and drinks can be taste like sweet, even though it's not sweet. Okay, because the reason just this sweet, they have that some, I don't know, it's not preservative, it's like the taste. Okay, but it's not like more, the sugar level is not like more than you use like ordinary sugar. Okay, like the ordinary sugar mostly is come from sugar cane. So for those diabetic person, there will be too high. So what they did when they do this R&D collaboration, it actually been proved that it can help more for those diabetic people, especially diabetic patient, in order to overcome with their disease. Okay, yeah. So at the same time, you can have sugar. When our body also need sugar, but when you have low sugar level, it will be affected by hypo. Hypo is the condition that the sugar level is at low and it can go for fatality. Kalau terlalu rendah sangat gula dalam badan, dia boleh menyebabkan kematian juga. So by having this product stevia, okay, you can have some research and development with the medication, and some also the doctors advise on that, but I believe that it is not very, how to say, 100% be recommended. For them, it's better for diabetic person to control themselves by not having and taking too high sugar, even like donuts, cakes. Okay, they have to control, they can take, but you have to control, not take it too heavy. Okay, and another point, maybe for the R&D, maybe I can give some other example. Like in order to overcome also the problem one day, okay, our petroleum will be have scarcity, okay, limit limited resources. Okay, so they come out like this is done by in Malaysia, bio, in order to revamp this problem. Okay, from biodiesel product, okay, biodiesel, okay, they come out with the R&D biodiesel, like using oil palm fuel, okay, in order to have replaced this petrol fuel, for example, like around 97, 95, right? Uh, I do not know how effective it are, but some said, according to the research, okay, from my reading, it's been stated even though they use biopetrol, but it cannot like competing the right fuel that we use in our automobile right now, our car, okay. They cannot go more like what we currently use, okay, because they are more on what we call environmental friendly products, right? So it still can survive. You can use this biodiesel, but it cannot go like more faster, perform more faster like what we had now. But at least there is some other way around compared to then we don't have nothing in backup in the future. Let's say one day our petroleum will be no more in this world, right? Okay, and then uh okay, in terms of the implementation of the strategic alliances, the selection of partners, even though we are in our relationship, our marriage, right, our life, our with our friends, right? Number one, when we're talking about selection of partners, we must selective on this side, right? So number one, um, compatibility between the partners. Okay, let's say I'm Microsoft, you are McDonald. In terms of the compatibility, it's not being very well because I'm maybe McDonald, is a food and beverages industry. You are Microsoft, you are software industry. So in terms of the compatibility, is not be very good. Okay, compatibility maksudnya keserasian, uh, compatible together. Okay, because due to a different nature of services. Okay, and then nature of the product and services. This has already been stated just now in terms of what the products that you produce and then the services that you provide is totally different. So there will be contributing to conflict if we don't have the same decision and also idea on a certain particular decision. And the third one, relative softness of the alliances. When you do have the same nature of product and services, in terms of the softness of the alliances will be more longer. The tenure will be more longer. Dia punya duration tu lebih panjang, berpanjangan lah. Bukanlah kata bila tak sama tak panjang. No. Because in term of the compatibility is not incompatible. Dia tak serasi, dia tidak bersama. Okay. And the fourth one, learning potential of the alliances. And for example, like Sony is learning from Ericsson. Ericsson is learning from Sony. And Gili is learning from Proton. Proton is learning from Gili. So this is learning potentials of the alliances. Both parties is get the consensus and mutual benefits from the knowledge sharing. Okay. And in terms of the form ownership, the joint venture is a corporate form and they have a limited partnership. Okay. So in terms of the public-private venture, there will be opportunity and challenges and opportunity and threats. This is under like SWOT analysis. So if you realize for the opportunity parts, of course you are expanding more on the new market because you go from one market to the another market. It's not easy, right? But having this joint venture, you can easily have I can say that in terms of the speedity, dia punya kecepatan dan ketangkasan lebih cepat. Because when you do this joint venture, you can get and tracking certain of the local market more better and more effective. And then the second one in terms of the government support. Okay, we're talking about the government support itself. Of course, mostly the government like local country, like the home country, they will give totally 100% support when you choose like joint venture, okay, on this kind of the strategy. And the third one, we reduce the competition in term because you are combined with the local and the whole local company from the host country. So indirectly from become the competitors, you become BFF, become a best friend forever. You become together, okay, joint venture. And for the threats, for the challenges, the investment loss. Okay, this is particularly when your company or maybe your strategic alliance or joint venture is totally outware, tak berkesan lah. Okay, meaning so maybe there will be a selective factor because maybe in term of the partners is incompatibility, the nature and product is not same, okay, and then maybe in term rising of conflicts, okay, internal conflict is keep on rampant happen between the suppliers, for example, and the assets will be seized, seized ni dicatu lah ataupun dibekukan due to the investment loss and the operation will be closed. So more basically what industry in out there, the reality and the real situation, okay, the one the reason joint venture is failed mostly because of the joint venture goal itself is totally not being achieved. Apa tujuan sebenar dia buat joint venture tu tak dapat dicapai. So that's why they come out with the end by close the operation. Okay, the second one, they're not able to cope with each other differentiation and variation. Bila berlaku terlalu ketara sangat dia punya perbezaan. Okay, that's why I said Microsoft and also McDonald. We can do, but we can do for temporary or short term joint venture, not long term. Okay, so if when come to the long term, okay, that's why when too much losses are occurred while you are doing the joint venture, the last one you have to close. Okay, and the next one, management. So this is the thing that some of you answering in my tackle the key term. So some of you are reading the manual, you get the correct answer. But some of you not doing it well. Okay. Okay. So we do have the shared management, assigned arrangement, and also delegated arrangement. Okay. So what is the shared management? Okay. Shared management meaning partner one. This is diagram, right? You see the diagram that I'm sharing with you right now. Okay. Partner one, 50% sharing your management. Pengurusan tu dikongsi bersama. And partner two is 50% too. So both partner actively participate. Example, maybe I can take like Proton and also Lotus company before this, right? 50%, 50%. Both partner actively participate. Or maybe I take another example. McDonald and also Coke just now. Okay. McDonald is doing marketing. Partner two like Coke is doing the operation. Or maybe McDonald is doing operation. Coke is doing marketing. Okay, so both partners actively participate. Both are together. You see the dotted line? So there will be alliances in here. So both partners actively, 50%, 50% actively participate. Not like one party is only get more percentage and control other. No, because shared management is together. Okay, all right. Later you get the example for the McDonald and Coke just now. Okay, the second one, assigned arrangement. One partner takes primary responsibility. So this one you can take like Proton and Gilly just now. So let's say partner one is only have partner one is 35% Proton. Partner two is 35% from partner one just now 35%. Partner two is Geli company, Chinese company, is 65%. So one partner with the majority percentage, okay, will actually takes the primary responsibility. So that's why if you realize in terms of design right now, everything production, operation will be handled by Geli company. Okay, that is assigned arrangement. And then for the third one, we have delegated arrangement. So both partners delegate management to the joint venture executive. So this one, I like to take example like if you realize, uh, this is food and beverages industry. So partner one, let's say I'm go with KFC, and then the another partner two is uh Pizza Hut. Both partner delegates management to the joint venture executive. Do you realize? Did you realize? Okay. Uh, Pizza Hut, KFC, Ayamas, Rasamas is under one roof. Which is under Jacob Corporation. Okay, Jacob Johor Corporation, Bangsa Johor, Negara Johor. Okay, so when we talking about this thing, okay, why I said so, KFC and Pizza Hut, they can only just separated with only one door. For those Indonesian student, if you go to anywhere, right? Let's say I think like Indonesia also they have their branch, right? Their franchise. So KFC and also Pizza Hut, they can next door because they are under one roof. They shared in terms of the management of the joint venture executive. Okay. So like in Malaysia, we can go to KFC, we can go to Pizza Hut next door because both of them are partner one and partner two under the strategic alliances. So this is under delegated arrangement because the joint venture of the executive is consensus there. So like in Malaysia, we do like under Johor Corporation, we have like Rasa Mas, Ayam Mas, we do have KFC, and also we do have Pizza Hut together under one roof. Even though it's franchise, but in Malaysia, it's under joint venture executive under Jacob. Alright. So we're moving to the next one and the last slide. Okay. So the pitfalls, not the pitbull, pitfalls of the strategic alliances. Apakah faktor-faktor kegagalan strategic alliances ni? Okay, so the common pitfalls adalah number one, incompatibility of partner. I told you just now. When your partners is Microsoft, another partners is McDonald, it's quite like click there. It means like the partners is totally out, not same in terms of the natures on the services products. And then the second one, access to information. Somehow, certain information have to be have private and confidential, PNC. And the third one, in terms of the distributions of earning, okay? Because as I mentioned, 65, 35 just now, of course, the 65 will get more earning compared to 35. And number four, in terms of loss of autonomy, the 35% will lose to the company who has 65% of the stocks. And in terms of the control authority, will have to rely on the majority stocks and shares. And the last one, changing circumstances, meaning to say you have to follow in terms of the certain the new rules, new norm, okay, for the new company that actually do some strategic alliances with you. Bear in mind, not easy to have change management of change. That's why when changing is not in the particular plan and not particular goal, so it will be actually one of the factor to become the pitfalls of the strategic alliances. Alhamdulillah, I'm done for the 1 hour and half, I think, for our video lecture today. And thank you so much for listening for this topic. Inshallah, not mashallah. Next week, I will move to topic 6. Okay, we have around, I think that less than 7 weeks from now before we go for final exam. And we do have another individual assignment that you have to do according to the case study. Don't worry. Inshallah, it will be around. Okay, I will just announce the date. Okay, and then um yeah, don't forget this Saturday, no more replacement class because we have did last week. So another class for those who with CB class with me, consumer behavior, we do have the tiba-tiba share kat sini kan. Okay, tak apa. We do have Saturday replacement class on this Saturday. Okay, bye. Take care, please. Number one, even though we keep saying social distancing, but we keep social distancing. Yeah, please wear your mask and keep sanitize your hand every 2 seconds actually. 2 minutes maybe is too near, like 2 seconds. Every 2 minutes you keep on sanitize your hand, you wash your hand, and go out only for the purpose you want to go out, not go out uh nothing to be done. Okay, and please take care of yourself. At the same time, I waiting for your what your draft. Okay, the draft I will reply to those who are sending to me, inshallah. And but at the same time, please log in into Neo to make sure to get your attendance being taken. And yeah, I will check back on the quiz. Some maybe have some what we call correction there. Okay, we'll do some rectification and there will be auto correction by the new, inshallah. So I hope that at the same time, please work up on your in group assignment draft, especially the PowerPoint. I need some of your friends asking whether to have proper draft. If like me, my draft is should be proper, should have the point, and you can decorate as well as you can because that's to see your effort and to speed up the progress. Bila you punya draft is like cicah bincai, your draft is like haywire, for those who are familiar with my style, I don't like. Okay, so I want you to do seriously on your draft, meaning to say that as you seriously to submit your magazine content, because from that draft you can just transfer your all content to the e-magazine, and then it can speed up your progress. I repeat for twice already. So I hope that you can give cooperation, and then all the members, please not to be free rider. This is not the time for to be a free rider. If you want to free rider, meet me next semester. I'm easy. If you do the good things, I will pay a good things to you, good grades to you. But if you do mess with me, I will mess with you too. Okay. All right. I'm not written, but I want to just remind. Okay. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum. Please take care. Bye.